All right. We're live, baby. We're cooking. Just got to connect with Facebook, and then we'll officially get this party started. Really looking forward to tonight. We don't have ultimate clarity yet on the roster, but it's a coming. Welcome in, everybody. It's the Mile High Huddle podcast. I'm your host, Chad Jensen. With me, my fellow football priest. You know him, you love him, Zack Kelberman. Zack, the Broncos today did make a few additional roster cuts. We'll get into them all, but most pressingly that fans will be curious to know, the Broncos have reportedly, according to Mike Kliss, waived both Audric Estime and Blake Watson. And former fourth-round pick, 2022 anyway, Damari Mathis, no trades. He was waived today, according to Kliss. Your gut reaction?
Yeah, these were kind of no-brainers to me, Chad. Anyone who watched KK last week, I listed both Mathis and Estime as cut candidates. One because they don't need them in Estime's case, and the other reason for Mathis is because the money they freed up, Chad. Over $3.4 million the Broncos just put in their back pocket. They can use it for Nick Bonito, JFM, another free agent, what have you, which is good to have the cap space too, but it also says something to me that they couldn't flip them at least for a future 7th round pick. They had no trade value at all, but I thought this was all very simplistic, and the Broncos backfield is shaping up to be a 4-headed operation with Dobbins, Harvey, McLaughlin, and Bidet.
That's how it's angling here. Zack, grab this generous super chat from Sam Bam real quick. I can hear you. I forgot to turn a light on.
Yes, sir. Sam Bam, $20 super. Thank you so much, Sam, for kicking us off right tonight on this Monday night edition of the MHH podcast. Evening, guys. It's the last week without any NFL for a while. I'm looking forward to seeing the final 53, and I have my fantasy draft this Saturday. Got Broncos defense number 1 on my board. Go Broncos. Interesting, Sam. We also have the MHH fantasy draft this Saturday night as well. I'm also really pumped about that, and I'm also going to be targeting the Broncos defense. But yeah, football season's back in bloom, Chad, and you and I both are very, very pumped about that.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time coming, and hey, I think that's a good call, Sam, going with the Broncos defense as the number 1 unit on your board, because not only did the defense finish first in sacks, but they had 25. What did the takeaways rank last year? NFL defense. Hold on. Takeaways ranking. I know it was near the top, dude. Well, I'll look at it when I'm not under the microscope, but dude, that's awesome. I hope you kill it this year in your fantasy league, and that goes for anybody out there who's playing, including those in the MHH fantasy league. I'm stoked to see, Zack, that it marches on. I shed a little bit of a tear that I cannot participate myself. I'm just too much stuff cooking, and we want to keep that league competitive. Everybody locked in and making sure they're checking the wire every week and updating rosters and all that stuff.
Let me put out one note really quickly while we're on the topic. We might be a few spots short with the draft coming up Saturday. First come, first serve. If anyone who's hearing this wants in on the MHH Fantasy Draft, 12-team league draft, Saturday night, $50 buy-in, let me know. Email us, DM me on Twitter, get at me. Again, first come, first serve.
So, yeah, first in sacks, 8th, thank you, Mr. Producer, in takeaways. That's a good call to target this defense that only seemingly got better this offseason. So anyway, Sam Bam, appreciate you, big dog. Thank you. We also have the Papa Bear, David McElrath, a genuine, bona fide Mount Rushmore superstar, a member and a dear friend, checking in on Super Chat saying, good evening, Broncos country. Hashtag God bless the USA, 13-4, plus, and let's go, Bo. Yes, indeed. I thought it was interesting, Zack, NFL.com. I mean, we're not exactly talking breaking news here, but in Eric Edholm's biggest takeaways from the Saturday preseason finale games, when it came to the Broncos, he was pretty impressed with how the Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton connection is already shaping up and what that could mean for this offense in 2025.
A lot of Broncos fans are poo-pooing Cortland because of the drop issues, and I get that. He needs to be a little more reliable for the money he's making, but also, Chad, you can't discount his chemistry and comfortability with Bo Nix. It's a matter now where Bo can throw a ball at a certain spot even before Cortland breaks, and he has the trust factor to know that Cortland's going to be in the right spot. It is paramount. It is crucial for a young quarterback to have at least one of those receivers. So he might not be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but he's a damn good wide receiver.
No doubt. Papa Bear, dude, thank you so much. It's great to see you. This is an interesting question from one of our dear members here, Zach String Guy, a.k.a. our buddy Roger, who says, does Jeremy Crawshaw, the punter, the 6th-round rookie, make the 53-man roster? He says, Zach, I'm hearing rumors they might bring a punter in off the waiver wire and send Crawshaw to the practice squad, which would be, obviously, Zach, if it were to happen, which I'm not commenting at this very moment that it will, an epic categorical fail if he gets waived. And whether he got signed to the practice squad or not, you spend a draft pick on a punter. I don't think they're waiving him. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be throwing in the towel so soon, but I could see a scenario, Chad, where they bring in some veteran competition and either, push him to get better or the competition overlaps him. I did notice that the Steelers cut Cameron Johnston, their veteran punter, earlier today. Maybe
you mean do you mean Bill Burr?
Yeah, he looks just
the
like
comic.
him. Literally looks just like him. Yeah,
crazily.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
One face. But I could see a situation where they bring in some veteran competition for him. If not Johnston, then maybe somebody else. He has to get right.
Guys, check it out. Maybe I can find the tweet that I saw of this dude. Looks just like the famous comic Bill Burr. Ronk, brother, great to see you. Says good evening on Facebook. Chad, Zach on the Mile High Huddle podcast. Go Bo Broncos. Dude, thank you. So great to see you. We have not talked about much yet, though, here, Zach. The fact that, George wants to know, do you see us picking up anyone from another team? Yeah, definitely. Now, amongst the cuts that have already happened, I'll have to get back to you on that. But has anyone that you've seen kick loose? I mean, there's been a few former Broncos got kicked loose today, Zach, including, remember, old Royce Freeman and McTelvin Ajim as a couple that come to mind. But has anyone been kicked loose on waivers today that you've seen, Zach, that you think the Broncos might be interested?
Except for maybe the punter I just mentioned, I did consider for a second bringing back Ajim, if only for his run-stopping ability. They don't have someone they can rely on as a pure run plugger. But someone from the waiver wire that's jumped out, not yet. Not yet.
Me neither. And I'm looking at the official wire right now, and nobody is jumping out to me. But this is just, I mean, honestly, across the NFL, for the most part, teams have just scratched the surface on their initial cuts, and the bulk of that stuff is going to happen in the morning, for what it's worth. So we'll see, bud. Sam jumping in again. Whoa, I just looked up Cameron Johnston, and he looks like Bill Burr's twin. Yeah, I'll see if I can find him on X and show you guys we'll do some scratch and sniff, so to speak, but it's pretty uncanny.
Literally one face with him, like twin.
Yeah, let me see. That's not the angle. That's decent. This is the angle, dude. I honestly thought it was like some Photoshop, what I'm about to show you guys, or like some AI type of skullduggery. But turns out, no, that's what homeboy looks like right here. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. Bada bing. There you go. I don't know why it's all like whited out, because it's not like that on my screen, but that at least is close enough that you kind of catch the drift. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it, Sam? But Papa Bear, much love and respect. Okay, Zach. So Damari Mathis, it seems the end of an era. Obviously there is the financial incentive, but do you see any regrets coming down the pike for not going through the full 4 years on that former draft pick?
I mean, you gave him long enough. You gave him like 3 years. He looked good as a rookie and then never really recaptured that form. I thought he could be good. I thought he could be what Riley Moss is right now, and that's a running mate with PS2. It really just never worked out. The Broncos are so deep in their secondary. I'm much higher on Chris Abrams-Drain. Again, Chad, it was a no-brainer. $3.4 million. See ya, Damari.
Proud Zennial our friend Ian, did Mathis get cut or traded? He was waived. So cut, waived. So he'll pass through wires. There was some speculation, including from ESPN's Bill Barnwell, which we covered today at MHH, but that he could maybe be traded, to a team that's not only cornerback hungry, but he attached it to possibly the Panthers because the defensive coordinator that's there, Ajiro Evero, he's the guy that the best that Mathis ever looked was in his scheme in 2022. And because he played so much, I mean, you can go, it's not his fault that he cost $3.4 million in his fourth year as a fourth round pick, still playing on his rookie contract. But the reason that he's making that is the escalators that he earned as a rookie playing for Evero. And it finally spiraled all the way to that 3.4 whatever million that it is this year. And the Broncos are like, yeah, we're just not going to pay that for a sixth corner. And no one else was willing to. So unless the Broncos were going to eat some of that contract, in other words, hey, Panthers, give us a seventh round pick. We'll give you Damari Mathis and we'll eat $2 million of his $3.4 million salary. But it didn't shake out that way. Whatever conversations may or may not have been had, Zach, he was waived.
Because he doesn't do anything overly well, either in coverage or as a run defender. He's not a special teams maven. It's a lot of money for someone like that, Chad. It would have been an amazing pull-off for George Payton, but it wasn't to be.
Yo, Boise man in the house, dude.
Oh,
good to see you. Good to see you, man. Been a minute. Boise man, been with us a long time, many moons, going all the way back to the OG days here on YouTube. And it's a very generous super chat, big dog. Thank you. Says, hey, fellas, long time since I caught a live. Moved across the country, so no longer Boise man. And work blew up in a good way, so hoping it settles down soon. Excited for the season and to see what Knicks can do in year 2. Dude, sounds like it's all good things, though, for you, big dog. So that's great to hear, and hope it continues that way. And, we're always here, dude. Same time, same day, same time, all that stuff. So congrats on those developments. Great to see you, and thank you, big dog.
And we will be here each and every day during the season. We look forward to seeing you, Boise. Congrats on the success, and appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Stoked for you, man. We also have here Kenny Pickett being traded to the Raiders. Fifth round pick. Thank you, sir. Mr. Producer on top of it for us. Phil McLaughlin, Tucson Phil, our buddy and member, says, good evening, Chad, Zach, and Deacon Scott. What rookie do you think will have the biggest impact this year? Buckham, MHH for life, Broncos for life. So, Zach, there are some interesting options. I mean, your mind first goes to the top guys like Zadeh Barron, the first-round corner, RJ Harvey, second-round running back, Pat Bryant, the wide receiver. Could end up being, who knows, Jeremy Crawshaw, the punter. But what's your answer for Phil?
I don't think it's even close. RJ Harvey. Barron's not even a certified starter yet. Bryant's pushed down the depth chart still, even with the Vele trade. Crawshaw's a punter. Savion Jones is a backup. This has the potential to be epic, Chad, as early as 2026. But for right now, there is no more of a short-term contributor that has the biggest stock up right now than RJ Harvey.
Yeah, for now, it seems that RJ is the guy. Now, if there were to be an injury or something worse befalling the Broncos cornerback, the top of the depth chart, and Barron ends up playing a lot more than I expect him to right now. He's going to play, but I mean like starter snaps. It'll probably be RJ, and that's a good thing, man. You look at that running back room. I mean, it's the way it's projected right now, the way it's looking. We don't think Tyler Burdett is getting waived. It's looking like he's made the team, along with Jaleel McLaughlin, the new father, RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins. The Broncos basically churned year over year 50% of that room because Javonte's gone. Javonte Williams is in Dallas now, saying that it's so much better there, by the way. Some of his comments during the Cowboys' last preseason game, not directly, it was more indirect shade on the Broncos, but that's neither here nor there. 50% of the room changed over year, Zach. Williams gone, Estime gone, and in their place, Dobbins, Harvey.
String guy saying, don't forget Brian. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I thought I mentioned the fact that he still pushed down the depth chart, and he's going to make a big impact. He could be the long-term too. I'm a huge fan of Pat Bryant, but for right now, String guy, right now, I just see RJ Harvey having a much bigger impact in terms of snap share.
That's a fun, interesting question, Phil. Really appreciate your support as always, big dog. We also have Gene William checking in. What is up, brother? On Facebook. Says, accidentally sent some stars without a comment. LOL, my bad. What's up, boys? Good to see you. Thank the Lord. Estime is gone. So thank you, Gene. Appreciate you, big dog. And yeah, I mean, it's to me, the whole Estime thing, it's bittersweet because it feels a little bit like, look, in the Mathis situation, you gave him 3 years to kind of prove that what he was, and he did, and it's not worth being the sixth corner on your roster. Estime's case, he kind of got caught in a situation, man, where the Broncos are so desperately trying to upgrade their running game and improve things that they just couldn't wait and on or pin their expectations on the hope that he was going to figure things out. I mean, Zach, Scott talks about this a lot, but the writing was on the wall for Estime when he was a healthy scratch going into a game in upstate New York. First playoff game Broncos had been in a decade against a physical team where you would think a power back and grinding it out and having that would come at a premium, and he didn't even dress.
And then we have Taylor Christensen, $1.99 super saying, good, Estime's gone. Will Blake Watson be brought back on the practice squad? Yeah, I think so. That was always the plan. And it seemed like Estime was on the outside looking in as soon as they drafted Harvey. They signed Dobbins. He went from being a projected starter to being a third, fourth stringer. So he already felt the need to fight for his job. And how did he come out of the gates, Chad, in the preseason? Averaging less than 3 yards a carry in the first 2 games. It was too little too late for Audric. I hope he catches on elsewhere. If he does get out of Denver, I hope he has a productive career, but it wasn't happening with the Broncos. This was 100,000% the right call.
It is. To me, it's still bittersweet. But hey, we wish him the best. And according to Mike Kliss, the Broncos do hope that he passes through waivers. And if he does, they plan on re-signing him to the practice squad. So it might not be the end of Audric Estime, but we'll put a pin in that for a second, guys, because look, finally, football is back, and it feels good, doesn't it? Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Playing on Underdog, guys, you know this. Those of you who played with us last year, it's easy. You simply pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more.
That's right. Get your picks correct, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. So if you think you've got a bead on what Bo Nix's or any Broncos player are going to do in week 1, download Underdog and win some money now.
Dude, it's so much fun. And the opportunity to make some money while you're at it, you can't beat it. So especially watching football, that's a touchdown, baby. So download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code MHuddle and score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's our promo code MHuddle. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog, and you got to ask yourself, are you going to be next?
For some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-3669. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska.
There you have it. I think that's better, Zach, than going like trying to do the micro machines. Nick got really good at it, right? Nick's quite good at doing the micro machines thing at the end, but they gave us an MP3 this time. Yeah, exactly. Nick don't need the micro machines anymore. He'll find that to be, I'm sure, a great relief. But guys, there you have it. So much love and respect. Check it out. Join us on the Underdog app where we're going to be having some fun making picks and winning some money. So, all right. Hey, William, I'm just grabbing this real quick, Mr. Producer. From London, guys, Trey Hendrickson signed a 1-year extension. Does that mean a trade is coming? What do you make of that? It's an interesting point, Zach. The Trey Hendrickson thing kind of updated his contract, not this big, massive thing. What does it perhaps foreshadow?
I mean, are you suggesting the Bengals are going to trade Hendrickson after signing him? I think this was just a Band-Aid, Chad, to get Hendrickson to next year. They couldn't agree on a long-term extension. The Bengals are notoriously cheap. I don't know that they wanted to go all in on Hendrickson, and it allows him to stay with the team and shop his wares next offseason. That's what I make of it.
Indeed. Rock Chalk, good to see you, my friend. Longtime superstar, a member. Much love and respect. Says, unfortunate about Estime. The potential's there, just hasn't been realized yet. Maybe a change of scenery will benefit him. Hashtag MHH for life, Broncos for life. Totally. And he's still very young. He's 21, about to turn 22. So I'm pretty sure, if I recall, he'll be 22 before or right around when the season starts. So he's still very, very young. I mean, he was hecka young when the Broncos drafted him. So I think the fact that he finished strong in the preseason with a game where he led the team in rushing in terms of yardage and then bumped that average up to 5.6 yards. That'll be enough for him, I think, Zach, to get claimed off waivers. I would be quite surprised if he clears waivers, but if he does, Broncos say they want to bring him back. I just don't think he will.
I hope, I'm not going to try to sound too much like a hater. I do hope Audric goes on to have a productive NFL career. I just don't know what his ceiling is as an NFL pro. He's very one-dimensional. He's a power back, but he's not a power back in the vein of David Montgomery or Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. He's not an overly good receiver out of the backfield. I just don't know what his potential is as an NFL running back. And I'm happy the Broncos aren't the ones experimenting any longer.
Let's see. Brandon Rocco in the house. Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you. Says, good evening, Broncos country. Love the show. Thanks, brother. Besides Cortland Sutton and Evan Ingram, who gets the most targets this year? Zach, what do you think?
Easy. One of the running backs. I in my research, I didn't realize that Javonte Williams was second on the team in receptions last season. It's pretty pathetic, Chad, but that's also a Sean Payton offense. And now that you have more weapons, they can spread the ball around. I don't know, Brendan, if that's going to be Harvey or Dobbins. Gun in my head right now, I do think that will be RJ Harvey.
If we remove the running backs from the equation, it's going to be probably Troy Franklin, although Marvin Mims, we can't forget about him, man. He's going to be on that first team offense running and gunning, but I think a lot more of his touches and targets are going to be of the chunk variety, maybe not as consistent moving the ball down the field. So I would say Sutton, Ingram from the receivers side of things, Franklin, Mims, but I agree. You want to get past those two guys, it's going to be the running backs in terms of ball distribution.
And the more weapons, the better. That's why, like Sean Payton was talking about with receivers, not to put a title on this guy or that guy. Everyone is going to get the rock, and they're going to spread it around quite a bit.
Yeah, Bryant is a possession guy. So depending on how much time he sees out of the gates, he could be that guy as well that could move up in terms of touch share. So we'll see. But guys, just by way of an update here, let me tell you, here's counting yesterday and today. And while we're live, guys, if you see something on X, let us know. But here are the cuts up to this point. Garrett Nelson, outside linebacker. Jerjuan Newton, wide receiver. Xavier Truss, offensive line. Michael Dwumfor, the defensive tackle the Broncos signed late last week. Clay Webb, the undrafted rookie interior offensive lineman. Joshua Pickett, the cornerback. Micah Abraham, cornerback. Joaquin Davis, undrafted rookie receiver. Andrew Farmer, outside linebacker. Damari Mathis, as we talked about tonight. Blake Watson, Audric Estime. Now, Zach, for what it's worth, I want to say it was Chris Thomason reporting that if Watson clears waivers, the Broncos want to bring him back as well. Do you see them rostering on the squad, that is, but nevertheless, rostering two running backs on the practice squad possibly?
I mean, maybe never say never. This was always our guess, though, wasn't it? You can go back and verify these receipts. Like 3 weeks ago, we predicted that Watson and Estime would be cut and left off the 53, and they would try to bring back Watson. Just more of a ceiling, like I talked about. He has more athleticism. He's more dynamic. He can offer more. And I was more impressed based on the eye test and the vibe test with Blake Watson this preseason than I was Audric Estime.
Taylor Christensen, guys, what do you think of Deion's son being cut? Shador Sanders, do you think we pick him up? Zach, that's interesting because if he wasn't such a kind of Tebow-esque in terms of the hype that follows him, I think
Well, we're talking about Shiloh, not Shador.
Sorry, my bad on that. But I forget about that kid. Break it down for him.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have the last name, I'm not talking about Shador. I'm talking about Shiloh. Although maybe you can apply it to both. I don't know that he would get the chance in the NFL because you saw the punch that he threw, the behavior that got him his pink slip. I don't know, Chad, that the Broncos need to disrupt the locker room, disrupt the chemistry with those bad apples. Again, he has the Sanders lineage, and that's always going to be intriguing for an NFL team. The Broncos just don't need the bad apple in the apple cart right now.
Undrafted, 6 foot 196. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Broncos really need at this stage. I think they're pretty set at that position. So, no, my answer to that is no. Pardon my confusion at the beginning, guys. I'm like, did I miss something? Thanks, Mr. Producer. Okay, Leroy. Good evening, guys. It was a small article about the center position, and it's somewhat a weak link. Wattenberg is a better pass protector, Forsythe a better run blocker. Which one would you rather have? If you're prioritizing that, Zach, from a center position, which guy, what do you want? A guy that's better in pass protection, knowing that it's Bo Nix, right, who can move around a little bit? Or do you want the guy who's maybe a better run blocker?
Yeah, I'm going to take the guy that didn't get run over comically and lost the Broncos a game against the Chiefs. I'm going to go with Luke Wattenberg for the reason you mentioned as well. You got to keep your franchise quarterback upright.
Still, man, ignominy. You can't
I'm
live
not
that
over
down. It's going to take time, brother. And yeah, by the way, Scott bringing up on the Sanders kid, if the Broncos wanted him, they could have signed him as a college free agent. He was in their backyard, et cetera, et cetera. But no, I mean, the Broncos are still very high on Wattenberg. Wattenberg didn't show that much this summer in the preseason games, but keep in mind, we're talking about, what was it, 6 total possessions. And it wasn't as bad in the first game. The second game, he was a lot more leaky and just not getting any push against that. What was his name? I'll butcher his name. Defensive tackle of the Saints, Gacho. Thank you. But the Broncos, though, are still very high on him. So I think the fact, too, Zach, that he is the returning guy that started the majority of games. I mean, Forsythe did start some games last year. I think it was 2 when Wattenberg was down, but I'm not too worried about it for now. Let's let them get out there and get a whole game's worth of reps under their belt in a real game before we start getting too out over our skis on tweaking the offensive line. Brendan, is it Brendacho? I'm wondering because it's the same. It's a similar handle, but now they're showing the @ sign. Brendan, just in case it's not. Are we concerned with Powers and Wattenberg? Minor, very minor concern with Wattenberg. I think he'll punch in and bounce back. Powers, am I concerned? Like, am I worried? No. Could the Broncos be better, Zach, at left guard than what Powers has provided them since he signed that moderately lucrative contract a couple years back? Yes. But their best hope of that went down with a torn ACL in Nick Gargiulo. So that's something that's going to have to wait one more year. This is what it is. The starting 5, health willing, is what it is. And who knows? Maybe this is the year, Zach, that Powers kind of reverts back to the caliber of player he was in Baltimore, which is what made the Broncos sign him.
That's kind of my feeling as well, Brendan, is that they're the best the Broncos have right now at both positions, at guard and center. So we're going to have to like them being in the starting lineup. Like Chad said, it's a negligible concern with what happened in the preseason. They were not showing their full playbook. I don't think really playing at full bore. They're also installing new schemes on the O-line. If by week 3 or 4, Chad, they can't open up running lanes for RJ Harvey or Bo Nix is under constant pressure, then I'll start to panic. But for right now, I'm not too concerned.
Kirsten Bailey Drummer wailing away on the Skins, jumping in on Super Chat. Great to see you. Thank you for the super. And to each and every one of you guys, become a member, by the way, while you're in the chat with us. Just a reminder, Kelberman's Corners tomorrow for members only at noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Broncos book club coming up again, but this week it's going to be on Thursday, so watch out for that. Kirsten, though, says once Estime was talking out of frustration, I think he released himself. It's a bad locker room mojo. Thank you both for your excellent live streams. Dad. So is this Kirsten's pops? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. But either way, thank you very much for the support, for the kind words. And yeah, Zach, he maybe did Estime for a time there, some publicly voicing his thoughts kind of came off as negative. I don't know if that was the smartest thing for him to do. Although after the game in New Orleans on Saturday, he was nothing but positive, talking about how he wants to be on this roster and, he hopes he did enough and it's in God's hands. It's in Sean Payton's hands. I'm like, who are we talking about here? God or Sean Payton? But I digress. Zach, your thoughts?
I mean, he beats up on guys that are probably getting released today, and then he finally feels good about himself. How about before that, the 2 games? Your play does the talking in this league. If you can play, then you're going to have a job. You're going to have a role. When you finish, and if you're a running back fighting for your job going into the preseason, the 2 appearances that you finish under 3 yards a carry, and you're playing against backups and third stringers, you can be frustrated all you want. He has to look in the mirror.
Yeah, so we'll see how it shakes out, but he might be coming back. We'll see. I want to grab this from our buddy Nick Hale, rocking and rolling with his Les Paul. I love it, dude. What's up, Chad and Zach? I'm just curious your thoughts on any of your expectations this season. Last season, I was just hoping for the playoffs. Are you guys having expectations on playoffs or the Super Bowl? To be clear, I am not having a Super Bowl expectation. Would I love it? Sure. But man, you got back to the dance last year. That was a big leap. That was a big kind of obstacle to overcome, kind of an 800-pound gorilla to get off the back, so to speak. Like that had been haunting the Broncos for 8 long years. That was great to see. But they've made a lot of moves. They've so much of this hinges, Zach, on how big of a year 2 leap Bo Nix makes. It's definitely a potential thing. Could I see him in the Super Bowl? Yes. Am I predicting that or expecting it? No, but I am expecting them to be, once again, a double-digit win team, probably 2 more wins than what they put up last year with a rookie Bo Nix, and maybe a little bit deeper into the playoffs. But you never know. I mean, teams take on, in some cases, and especially the ones, Zach, that often go the distance, they take on an identity December on. They kind of come together and coalesce and, boom, just start defeating all comers. And I mean, look at the 97 Broncos that went through the entire AFC playoffs, starting as a wild card team to knock off the defending world champion Packers. They just got hot at the right time. So I do see this as a playoff team, Zach, but I don't know about Super Bowl. How about you?
Well, we have a minor bit of breaking news. The Broncos' latest cut is Kyrese Rowan, the undrafted rookie receiver. So, yeah, Philip Lindsay Jr., at least with the hair, he's officially off the squad now, maybe a practice squad guy, but that's the latest cut. In terms of the question, Nick, I'm with Chad here. I don't have a Super Bowl expectation. I'll say what I've been saying. Last year's ceiling is this year's floor. So I expect the Broncos to win at least 10 games. I expect the Broncos to get at least a wild card, and my expectation for progression is for them to win a playoff game. I don't know about winning the AFC West. I don't know about reaching the conference championship. I just expect now the next logical step to be winning a playoff game.
Did you say that was from Kliss, Zach?
Yeah, Kliss and the Denver Post, Luca Evan.
All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's a guy that they might want to bring back. I loved his energy, especially in that last preseason game, dude. Not just the fact that he caught a touchdown and a prayer from Ellinger, but he's out there blocking and just, I love that kind of guy. So Nick, we'll see, buddy. And guys, do I want the Broncos to make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl? Of course. Don't take what we're saying as us trying to rain on anyone's parade, or we're just saying, hey, we see this as a playoff team. Ask us again in December if Super Bowl is really possibly in the cards. But great to see you there, Nick. Joe Anthony in the house on Facebook saying, hey, guys, I have not been on as much as I would like. It's all good. You're here now, big dog. Hoping the season is a great one. I think Bo and the offense will be as good as advertised. Got an appointment to see if the neurosurgeon will take care of pain in my back and remove or reset my cages. Wish me luck. Ouch, man. That sounds gnarly. Good luck, brother. Good luck on that front. As someone who lived with a broken back for a long time, I know what kind of pain that can cause. So prayers up for you, big dog.
Yeah, Joe, I'm sorry to hear that. Prayers for sure. And hopefully you're hanging in there.
Drew, what's going on, brother? Great to see you. Says, love you guys. Come on now, 16-4. RJ for Rookie of the Year, Bo for MVP. Man, hey, look, I'm just as kind of thrilled, Zach, by Sean Payton hyping up the team, hyping up Bo Nix. I don't think it moves us off of what we've been saying since right after the draft, and really, yeah, since right after the draft, which is, 11, 12 win team that they're going to the playoffs, a real shot at dethroning the Chiefs in the AFC West. And then we'll see what happens. Like, I want it to happen, guys, but I'd be lying to you if I were to tell you right now I see that as a matter of course, a matter of fact, Broncos are winning the Super Bowl. I don't want to steer you wrong. I'm just telling you like I see it. This is a playoff team. And all it takes, Zach, Broncos, again, I'll go back to that 97 team, proved it. All you got to do is get in the dance. And if you get in the dance, man, you've got a ticket and a possibility to go all the way. So we'll see when it gets a little bit closer.
Yeah, Drew, I don't know about RJ winning Rookie of the Year, but Bo, I'll say this in a total ideal scenario, Chad, if the Broncos do end up winning the AFC West and they go to at least the divisional round, the conference championship game, Bo Nix will have been the catalyst for that more than likely, and he will get some MVP buzz surrounding him. So it's not likely, but I'm never going to say never.
String Guy is asking, Zach, if tomorrow for Kelberman's Corner, for the members, you could perhaps curate a list of names the Broncos might want to target on the waiver wire.
That's a really good idea, String. The problem with that is I'll be doing it on noon Mountain, so before the NFL cut down deadline. I want to try to maximize the time peg of the episode, but I will for sure be doing a breakdown of not only the Broncos roster cuts, but the NFL roster cuts as a whole. That's a good suggestion, though.
Pro 16, thank you again for becoming a member, big dog. Says our special teams should be much better this year. Well, they were already very, very good last year, right? Like, it was one of the strengths of the team. The weak link was the punter. And when we talk about it being a weak link, we're talking about it, it's relative. It's not like he was some total incompetent. All right. He just wasn't as good as the kicker was, or the coverage teams, or the return guy, Marvin Mims. Broncos made one real tweak, Zach, and that is they said bye to Dixon and they brought in Crawshaw. And Crawshaw, I saw him punt in person at the Senior Bowl, and he was very impressive. But the consistency has not been there yet in the preseason games. Now, granted, he only got one punting opportunity in the preseason finale. So, there haven't been perhaps as many bites at the apple as you'd want to see in order to have that sample size to feel a little bit more confident one way or another on what your read is on the dude. But right now, I'd say his stock is looking down, and yet Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator, continues to basically say nothing but good, that it's going to be all right. I don't see him getting waived, but I do see special teams being a strength once again this year. They'll figure out the punter thing. They have faith in him.
And it looks better for one reason, and that's Courtney Jackson. And I would hope that with Sean Payton always talking about how important special teams is and players that can pull double duty, that the Broncos end up keeping Jackson on their 53. Really exciting player, Chad.
No doubt. So once again, thanks, buddy. Okay, I'm seeing if I missed anything. In case you guys are just joining us, the very latest cut is wide receiver Kyrese Rowan. He joins Audric Estime today. Blake Watson, Damari Mathis. And Jerwan Newton, Garrett Nelson, Xavier Truss, Michael Dwumfor, the defensive tackle, as today's cut. So if you're up to date from yesterday, now you know. And we'll see if anything else shakes loose while we're live tonight. If not, tomorrow the deadline is 2 p.m. Mountain, so be ready for that. Ronk says he thinks Caleb Lohner is going to get waived. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, he hasn't done enough to make the 53. He was always a project, despite the exciting college tape, I guess you could call it. You'll have Nate Atkins on the 53, and I would assume if they keep four, Chad, that fourth would be Lucas Krull.
It's the way it's looking, man. It's the way it's looking. I don't think he's done enough to justify it, man. Like Priestcorn has done more and looks to be a guy who could be more helpful to this team right now than Lohner. And yet, Zach, you could see Sean Payton really trying to create some opportunities for Lohner in that preseason finale. And it was Payton calling the plays. He had that nice, dude, it was a touchdown. Probably 8 times out of 10, that play is a touchdown, but the rush linebacker sniffed it just in time to kind of get a finger on it and deflected it. At first, it almost looked like, Zach, that Lohner dropped that little tight end screen in the red zone, but no, the linebacker got a hand on it. But Sean Payton, my point here, still very much trying to will him into a success, but they kind of ran out of time in terms of being able to do that even modestly before the season starts.
I got to be honest, though. Every time I saw Lohner in preseason, Chad, I had the same kind of thought. He looks like a basketball player. He doesn't really look like a football player yet. He's still learning the game, quite literally. So a lot of work left to be done, and that work will be done on the practice squad.
One of our great members, David T, says, "Hey guys, can't stay. I'm in the hospital since Saturday with internal bleeding, a high temperature, and a tube in me draining blood. Just wanted to see what the roster cuts were." Well, dude, that's some bad luck, brother. I hope you get out of there very soon. Thoughts and prayers are up for you, my friend, and that is no fun at all. Okay, Zach, I think we've covered. Let me get to the bottom here of the chat. Make sure we're not missing anything here. What do you think? Phil says, I sent some stars. We covered you. Did you send another one? Another question? Let me see, buddy. We don't want to leave you out. Oh, I see. Right here. Will Clay Webb, Blake Watson, and Joaquin Davis be headed to the practice squad? And then what is an injury settlement and what does it mean? I think of that trio, Watson, there's reports they want him back. Davis, I doubt it. He comes back, but we'll see. Webb, I would be surprised if he passes through waivers if the Broncos didn't bring him back because he did get one of the bigger undrafted signing bonuses. But an injury settlement just means that in the event that Zach, that they don't come back, whatever they got injured, they get a little bit of money on their way out the door.
Yeah, Watson has a little minor knee sprain that he's working through right now. So Chad laid it out perfectly what that means. And I do think he will be back. And I think a majority of these players, the Broncos will want to get back on the practice squad. Joaquin Davis. And if they do end up releasing him, Courtney Jackson is the prime practice squad candidate.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I won't be surprised though, dude, if Courtney makes it, dude. He had a very impressive summer in the Broncos. Well, that what I'm about to say kind of contradicts that now as I kind of talk it out to its conclusion. They were trying to hide him for a reason, Zach, in game 3. And that's because in a perfect world, they're probably trying to waive Courtney Jackson and re-sign him to the practice squad. But we'll see exactly how that shakes out, or if they waive him, how successful their strategy actually was.
Try as they might, he still went up and had that great catch from Sam Ehlinger, Chad, during the Saints game as well. He's just making plays as a runner, as a receiver, and as a special teamer. Really exciting player.
Yeah, Todd. Not so much a new blocking scheme, but with the Sean Payton kind of power-oriented run blocking deal, they added some outside zone to their installs this summer. So we've seen a little bit of it. Like we've seen some RJ Harvey stretches where it's like, hey, out to the edge and, get the defense moving horizontal, see if any lanes open up and the running back can kind of stick his foot in and cut based on whatever lane opens up, instead of this play is designed to go through this gap, et cetera, et cetera. So otherwise it's more of like a wrinkle that they added, Todd, not exactly a new blocking scheme.
Yeah, and Phil's asking, does an injury settlement hold them to the Broncos? Not necessarily. It just means that when at the time of their release, they had an injury. So because the injury occurred during the time with the team, it's almost like a severance for that situation.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tied to how much it's tied to their contract. Sometimes it's tied. It's kind of like, hey, we realize that we're moving on from you, but you're injured, and that's going to probably cost you some money to get it like care, whatever it may be. So in the case of Watson, I read, Zach, it was a short-term settlement. So meaning like he's only going to be, it's a strain. He had a knee strain. So he'll be back on his feet probably 2 weeks tops, something like that. Two to 3 weeks, probably something like that. So here's a few bucks to get you through, but they plan on bringing him back anyway. So these are just matters of course, business items that have to be accounted for when you're waiving a player, because there is no guarantee, an injured player at that, because there is no guarantee, even if you have plans, Zach, to bring him back to the practice squad, that you're going to be able to.
Right, and I do fully expect the Broncos to push to bring Blake Watson back if he clears waivers, which he should. So
this is cool, Paul. Good for you, dude. Yeah, he says we're winning the Super Bowl. I just put $100 on it, and it pays 30 to 1. I think I have Bo for MVP for $18 and a really high payoff, dude. Hey, honestly, I hope you win all those bets, dude. I hope the Broncos win the Super Bowl. I hope Bo Nix is the MVP. I really do. I hope that's how it shakes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys, consider this your 2-minute warning for burning questions, topics, supers in the chat. We're going to give you a few messages real quick, and then we're going to circle back and check the chat one last time before we sign off for tonight.
I cannot believe it's been 45 minutes already. Another tremendous episode of the Mile High Huddle podcast. If you're not doing so, please follow us on X at the MHH pod. You can follow the main account on X at Mile High Huddle, Chad at Chad and Jensen, and myself at Kelberman NFL, and Scott, our producer, at Scout Kennedy. If you guys want some merch like we're rocking each and every single podcast, check out MHHmerch.com. Get you some. If you haven't done so yet, please drop us a like at facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. You can find us on Instagram at mile_high_huddle. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you're leaving your football priest a 5-star review for a chance to win some merch each and every single month. But if anything, y'all, please, very important that you subscribe, you like, you share this video and every video you see on the MHH channel. It really helps us grow and reach more Broncos fans just like you.
Pearl, great to see you. Thank you so much for being in the room tonight and for being a member. Todd wants to know, is Ellinger still with us, and might we stash him on the squad, if not the active roster? He's still with us. I don't think they'll keep him, but at the same time, I'm trying to think, Zach, 2023, year one, Sean Payton, Russ, Stidham. Did they keep 3? Wasn't DiNucci on the roster, or was he a practice squad guy? I'm going to do some research on that, but my point being, he might have a tendency to want to keep 3, but with how deep they are elsewhere this year in particular, Zach, I can't see him keeping Ellinger.
Yeah, I thought DiNucci was a practice squad call-up during the season. I could be wrong. But, yeah, they don't really need – it's not like last season where there's more of a fail-safe required with 2 experienced quarterbacks. You don't need a Zach Wilson or Ellinger in this case. You're fine with Jarrett Stidham behind Bo Nix.
Let me see here. I'm just seeing QB. So they only carried 2, by the way, out of camp in Peyton's first year. So that – I'm just, to be thorough, carried 2 in year 1, 3 in year 2. I expect him to go back to 2 this year. Hugh Collins, what's up, dude? Thoughts on keeping Jonah Ellis and trading Stiddy? Well, yeah, Ellis is sticking around, guys. Like, he's a 3rd-round pick last year, and he played very well as a rookie. Injured his shoulder, his collarbone. Was it his collarbone, Zach, in the playoff game? Shoulder. And okay, so keeping, I'm not sure now what he's talking about, but Ellis is sticking around. Stiddy's not getting traded. Trading, Zach, maybe Ellinger, is that what he's trying to say?
I don't know that he has any trade value. In terms of Joe, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jonah Ellis, not only is he worth keeping, you can make the case that there's some pause to paying Nick Benito because of Jonah Ellis. He's a great pass rusher, but he also succeeds very well against the run, the area that Nick Benito struggles.
No worries, we didn't mean to put the stress on you, brother. Thank you for throwing down a super chat. We appreciate you, big dog, and hopefully we are able to answer you there. Joe, what we're talking about is a membership on YouTube. You're a Facebook viewer, so I don't know how much you use YouTube, but we have a membership offering on YouTube where we have specific content and shows and access and perks and benefits for people who are members on YouTube. So if you want to look into that, just go to the Mile High Huddle YouTube channel and you'll see the join button if you want to check that out, buddy. So thanks, Joe. All right, guys. A Mile High salute, a special shout out to the great Super Chat superstars and supporters and members helping us keep the lights on tonight. Like the Papa Bear, David McElrath, Sam Bam, multiple supers, The Ronk, George Fox, Boise Man, who might no longer be in Boise, but he's working his butt off and supporting the cause here too. Great to see you again, big dog. Gene William in the hizzy. Tucson Phil, great to have you and thank you. Taylor Christensen, Rock Chalk, Brendan, couple supers from Brendan. Kirsten Bailey Drummer, love it. And Joe Anthony, Drew, Hugh, much love and respect. If we missed anybody, forgive us on Facebook. I think we got everybody, but every once in a blue moon, a Facebook will kind of slip through. But Zach and I, after 3 straight days of streaming, are going to be off until Thursday. So we'll see how things shake out tomorrow. If you want to monitor the cuts in real time, though, just keep it locked at milehighhuddle.com. You'll see the Broncos roster tracker, the cuts tracker at the top. Bookmark it and just refresh every so often, and you won't miss a cut.
We also have Kelberman's Corner tomorrow for our YouTube VIP members. I'll be analyzing every angle of the Broncos roster cuts, the NFL cut down deadline at large, and where the Broncos go from there. So hope to see a lot of you. Chad and I will be back Thursday night for the MHH podcast. Have a great start to your week. Take care, and as always, go Broncos.